right, so let's cover some of the verbiage. How many of you know what a copay is? All right, who wants to tell me what a copay is? Define in your own words. Yes, ma'am. Okay, well, it's what you have to pay on your own before your insurance pays. A little bit more specific than that. Yes, yes. So y'all both correct. So it's what you have to pay out of pocket when you go on a visit, on a doctor's visit, or when you go pick up a prescription. Regardless of what you have done to you, okay, it's going to cost you X amount. And that's determined by the plan that you have. All right, so when you go to a doctor, you're going to pay them $20, no matter if they find anything wrong with you or not. All right, and you will never get that $20 back. All right, so that's your copay. All right, who knows what a deductible is? Yes. First, I'm sorry, Connie. You want to define it? Who wants to give us a definition? Sure.
It's basically your copay is you pay your copay up to a certain dollar amount, and then your insurance keeps it.
Okay. Yes.
I thought deductible is like when, let's say you go to the doctor and you get that bill. If it's $5,000, your deductible is $1,000. Then like you pay the $1,000, and then we will pay the rest after.
Yeah. So you're both right. So in general, your deductible is what you have to pay before your insurance covers the rest. Does that make sense? Okay. And then premium. And I don't know if premium was on your little handout there, but what's a premium? Yeah, it's what you pay for. So it could be on a yearly basis. Most of you are going to be paying your premiums through your monthly or bi-weekly paychecks. All right, so you think you're making $50,000, but for those of you that are in LaTanya's session, you know, a lot of money is going to come out of that pay, and your premium's probably going to be some of it. So what you're paying, what you're contributing to your overall plan. Any questions about that? Those are three really big terms you need to be familiar with, because no matter what plan you choose, it will be involved some form or fashion. Yes, ma'am. You may, when filling out forms, or you will have to, designate your beneficiary. Who is a beneficiary? Yes?
Oh, I was going to say, I am one from my parents.
Excellent. Great. Good job. Way to just be a good daughter. Okay, so beneficiary is who is going to receive your money or your assets when you die. And I know that it's very, very sad subject, but we're going to have to approach it eventually. So you really pay attention. Y'all really got to be conscious about who you list as your beneficiary. I have so many good friends that are in HR, and they do benefits for a living. I don't know why you do benefits for a living, but they do. And they have so many examples of people that put their beneficiary as their girlfriend or their boyfriend when they start work. Years later, they're no longer boyfriend and girlfriend, and somebody dies. Okay? And then that boyfriend or girlfriend of years past receives all this money. And the family can do absolutely nothing about it. All right? By law, that ex-boyfriend is going to get $1 bazillion. All right, so think about that. Don't put somebody down. It's your call. Put your boyfriend down, put your girlfriend down. Obviously, your call. My advice is that you don't do that. You put somebody down that's a little bit more permanent. Put a ring on it first, and then listen. All right? Dental insurance. It is another form of a benefit that you will need to enroll in if you want it. Hopefully you all are taking care of your teeth. Some of us better than others. All right, so you may have the option. You may have different dental plans that you can enroll in. You may not. You may only have one option, depending on where you work. But just kind of look through to see what that covers. A lot of dental plans are going to cover preventative work. So they're going to say you can go to the dentist 2 times a year, get your teeth cleaned, and we'll pay for it. We'll cover it for you. You'll just have to pay your copay, potentially. All right, some will cover, your surgical procedures. How many of you have had dental surgery? That stuff is expensive. All right, so your insurance is going to help cover some of those costs. So think about, do you want nice teeth? Would you like to keep your teeth for a while? And take that into consideration when signing up for insurance. Optical insurance, isn't she? All right, so that's my oldest. She's now almost 5. She had her first sleepover last night. It really didn't go very well. but we made it through. So optical insurance. If you wear eyeglasses, you wear contacts, you would like laser surgery somewhere down the line, or you want just your yearly eye check, you may consider eye insurance. And it's usually very, very cheap. I think, I pay like $4 a month for mine. So, it usually covers your year exam one time a year. And again, this will all depend on your plan, but for the most part, they'll probably cover one time a year visit, basic lenses. So they're probably not going to cover your Versace lenses, although you probably get a discount for them, and contact lenses. And then they'll probably give you a percentage off of your laser surgery if you would like to have that done. Okay, life insurance. Life insurance gets a little bit tricky. Most of the time, I think when people think of life insurance, they think, now there's a motive for somebody to kill me. All right, because if I die, my beneficiary is going to get that money. All right, but life insurance is it is important for you to have some, and because what it's going to do, it's going to protect your family if you end up having a family one day, and it's going to cover your expenses in the event that you pass. And so most employers will contribute some or will provide you basic life insurance. So how many on your form you got to, maybe on the second page, I bet none of you ever got there, but how many got to the form and you said, life insurance, do you want times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4? It's on the one-pager form. Oh, you didn't even get to the one-pager form. See, yes. Okay, so when you enroll in life insurance, you are likely going to have the option of, yes, you want your basic coverage. Please take the basic coverage, because that's more than likely going to be pretty free, because your employer is going to cover that. But then you have the option, do you want to pay a little bit extra so that you have twice the amount of life insurance, 3 times the amount of life insurance, 4 times the amount of life insurance? And some of those options are actually going to depend on your salary. So if you make $400,000 in your first job, which you all won't, okay? So don't I may. So they may say you can have 3 times the amount up into a certain amount. Okay, so they're likely not going to let you buy in to $4 billion worth of life insurance. So they're going to set a limit, but you are going to have some options to purchase some additional insurance. Is everybody with me? Yes, good. That's a good sign. Good sign. And so where you go to work, again, will depend on what you have available to you. Some states do it a little bit differently. But flexible spending accounts usually are in 2 forms. So you can essentially put aside some of your paycheck into this bucket O money. All right, and then you are not taxed on that money. You're taxed on, so your annual salary is actually removed. Okay, I'm not explaining this very well. So say you make $50,000, you put $5,000 away in your flexible spending account. You're only taxed on $45,000. Is that better? Okay. So it is a tax benefit. So what you can use these flexible spending accounts for are medical bills, or you can have a dependent care is also within flexible spending accounts. So for those of you that will end up having children, or you have children now and they're in daycare, well, daycare is expensive. All right? And so you can take away $5,000 and you'll be taxed on this money that's remaining, and you can pay your daycare out of this bucket of money. Is everybody with me? Okay. So one of the greatest things, if you have never noticed, but on Target's, how many shop at Target? How many get your prescriptions filled at Target? Okay. If you notice on your Target receipts, they have little, I think, minuses or something if you've saved. It knows if you've got an item on sale, but it also has pluses. Have anybody ever noticed the pluses next to items that you've purchased? Target does a great job in saying, hey, look, these qualify for flexible spending. So if you buy Q-tips, you can totally take that out of your flexible spending account. And then obviously prescriptions, that makes a lot of sense. But there are a lot of over-the-counter products that you can actually use some of that money for. And depending on where you work, they may give you a debit card that you can pay out of, or you may have to turn in your receipts and get reimbursed from that account. Now, the big thing here, so write this down, very important. For most flexible spending accounts, if you do not use that money, you lose that money. Did everybody hear me? If you do not use the money in your buckets, that money goes to, who knows where it goes? Understand. All right, so you do not get that back. So as you're planning when you enroll, you're gonna note in your enrollment how much money you want to set aside. So if you have no idea what's going to happen to you medically, you may not put $5,000 aside, or you may not put the max aside. All right. So you just, again, it's dependent on each individual. You have to make that decision yourself. Yes, ma'am.
How long do you have?
12 months. Very good. Very good. You have a year. Okay. All right. So you